If it's trending in West Hollywood, you'll hear about it right here on WehoTV. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Trending, our show just for you, West Hollywood. I'm Tracy Savage, your host, and together we'll find out more about people, events, locations, shopping, parties, and the wonderful collection of trending subjects that makes West Hollywood a city like no other. Today on Trending, a look at how West Hollywood takes care of its own. In case you didn't know, this city does an amazing job of providing a wide array of social services for its residents. And today we're going to talk about those services and how you can access them if you need help. Joining me today on Trending is Larry Block, who chairs the Disabilities Advisory Board for the City of West Hollywood. And Larry, I want to thank you so much for being with me here today.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. So, before we get into the nuts and bolts, let's talk about just how special West Hollywood really is. I mean, this city does so much for people, right? Probably a lot more than most cities. In general terms, tell me how it helps people here.
We provide health services, benefits, housing, legal services, emergency preparedness, mobility services, mental health services, and nutrition services through our contracted and collaborative agencies.
And it's really important for the city to be able to help its people, right? It's a priority.
It seems to be a big priority. I don't know any cities that are this small with that big a heart that would be able to help as many residents as it does.
I love that. This small with that big a heart. That's perfect, and that says a lot about what this city does. So you are the chair of the Disabilities Advisory Board. What exactly does that mean for you, and what is the Disabilities Advisory Board? What do they do? What are they responsible for?
Well, we meet at the fourth Wednesday of every month. We're open to the public. All meetings are public.
Okay.
And we serve as a liaison to the City Council to make recommendations about various proposals. Residents come and during public comment share their voices, and through those voices, we are able to make recommendations, understand what's going on. Plus, each member of the Disability Board serves as a liaison to all the city commissions and boards. And we try to be upfront in there when public safety is doing crosswalks to make them audible, or various other issues that, have to do to help promote better lives for people with special needs.
And you speak for the people. I sound like Dr. Seuss. Or you speak for the people, but you kind of do, right?
Well, many of our residents, I would estimate about 30%, are senior citizens or those with HIV or have special needs or other types of things. So it's important to our community to have those voices represented. So. We do a very special job.
Yeah.
We have a very large budget dedicated of our total budget to disability services and social services.
Well, West Hollywood has been helping people in need ever since it became a city. I understand one of the first grants ever given was for folks with HIV. What was that, and what was that about?
That was about 30 years ago, and it was a grant to the LA Gay and Lesbian Center. Our total budget on social services, which about $4 million or so is dedicated towards people with special needs, and about a third of that goes to people with HIV-related services, education, testing, various things like that.
That seems like a lot of money. Does it cover?
We do a great job of trying to prevention and contracting and collaborating with the social service agencies. Compare that to any city around.
Right.
I don't think anybody takes care of its own like we do.
That's fantastic. Well, let's talk specifics. Tell me about some of the specific services that you provide, the agencies that provide those services here in West Hollywood.
Well, we have so many agencies that it's really hard to mention all of them.
Right.
But our largest contract is with Jewish Family Services. And we also contract with Beit Tzedek for legal services, and Pause and Path, and a host of services, the LA Gay and Lesbian Center, the Project Angelful, Aid Projects Los Angeles, the National Council of Jewish Women, and I could probably keep going on, but
well, we have a representative that we're going to talk to from the Jewish Family Services, but these other services, what kind of specific services are they that you're providing?
We have a disability services advocate that is on staff to help people figure out through the maze of all the services that are provided.
Right.
So, so if it's filling out forms,
Sure.
if it's not knowing where to go, you know, I mean, most people contracting cancer don't know where to go. But a large portion of our budget is also spent on mobility services.
Right. Getting around, transportation is
most
key.
important.
Yeah. And what kind of services do you provide to help people get from point A to point B?
Over $2 million is dedicated towards mobility services.
Wow.
And there are 4 programs that are the biggest programs. One is the City Line. Okay, and that's not only for people with disabilities, but it's now open to everybody. But it does have wheelchair access on all of the City Line buses. And basically, that takes you from point A to point B, you know, throughout the rounds of the city, free.
Wow.
Okay, it used to be they charge a quarter, but now it's completely free.
Wow.
One of the really great programs is the Dial-A-Ride program.
Okay.
And the Dial-A-Ride program is if you have a doctor's appointment or something like that, you're a senior citizen and you can't get and you're a part of, you register with the city, you can call and get city assistance to be able to take you to your doctor, to be able to pick you up from home. And that's, I mean, in how many cities in the whole?
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you hear about people in major cities being shut in, the shut-ins, who can't get to doctor's appointments because they don't have anybody to provide that for them. Well,
we have a tremendous amount of single-family households in the city,
right?
And sometimes people don't know where to turn,
right?
And so this nice part about it is they can turn to the city. But also in transportation, we have the taxi swipe card program, which is discount swipe cards. So $8 gets you $28 worth of rides that the city subsidizes, and the bus service, you know, subsidy. And together, you could live in a small walkable city and have a great quality of life.
Right.
And I think that's what is the best thing about West Hollywood.
I love it. I love it. What happens, what do you need to do to find out about all these services? Because I know we're just scratching the surface, but what do you need to do to find out about all of these? How do you apply? How do you get access to them? Is it a difficult process?
It's so simple.
I like it.
It's so simple. First of all, you can call social services anytime. 323-848-6510.
Okay.
And a very friendly person will listen to you and try to steer you through the maze of things.
Oh, perfect.
Second, if you want, if you know, sometimes a person calls social services and it's a singular problem for them, but it actually happens for other people too. So you know, you can come to a meeting and make your voice heard where maybe the disability board can make a recommendation so that we can change a policy or tweak something so that it reaches everybody who has the same problem. So I think it depends on the problem, but it also depends on the individual, you know, what they're more comfortable with.
Now, it's all about the city helping its residents, but it's really all about residents helping residents. I mean, it's all about community. And I know your advisory board, you honor your volunteers. You honor people who help. Is that correct?
We do. We have our Disability Service Awards, and they honor the individuals, the nonprofits, the corporations that that really, you know, deserve warranted. We actually had a really, really great thing that just happened last year. And that is the street banners to honor all the individuals and nonprofit organizations who dedicated their time and their energy for their volunteers and everything that they put into it by honoring the past recipients of the Disability Service Awards and legends of our community who all have won these service awards for their efforts, including Howard Jacobs, who had passed away and had worked, you know, and his family was called, and, you know, tears in the eyes, and basically in perpetuity. Every year during Disability Awareness Month in October, the banners go up.
I love it.
And it's really a fantastic way to really lift the entire community consciousness of like what we stand for, who we care for, all the people who just call this a pass-through city. It's not just a pass-through city. They could see that right there in the city is a lot of volunteer efforts that make this special city special.
That's fantastic. Larry Block, I want to thank you for all that you do for West Hollywood, and thank you for joining me here on Trending today.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much on behalf of the whole Disability Advisory Board and all the people with special needs to be able to get the word out. Thank you.
My pleasure. Welcome back to Trending, everyone, a show just for you here on WehoTV. And today we're talking about how West Hollywood goes over and above the call of duty to help its residents. Earlier on the show, we learned about all the various services available in West Hollywood. Well, right now we'll hear from someone who has direct contact with the people who receive the help and how these services can make a huge positive impact in their lives. Joining me on Trending is Ina Keratin, the disability specialist with the Jewish Family Service Comprehensive Service Center located in Plummer Park. Ina, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's great to have you here. So, the Jewish Family Service does a lot for people in this community. They do a lot for people everywhere. Tell me what it is exactly. Fill me in on what the kind of services are that you provide.
We provide a variety of services, information and referral, case management, counseling, limited assistance with financial emergencies, homemaking, coordination of resources, and ongoing emotional support.
And when you say case management, would that be for people with medical conditions, that kind of thing?
Not necessarily. Case management is a close monitoring of a client and situation, and it's basically for people who are homebound or unable for some reason to come into the office. So the social worker makes a home visit to the client.
Are you kind of like an extended family member? I mean, it's in your title. Is this kind of what the organization is? It's like for people who may or may not have, a mother or a cousin or a son to come and help you. You guys are there for people.
The emotional support that we provide, I think, by doing that, we become sort of a member of the family.
Yeah.
We try.
Yeah. And so what are some of the most commonly requested services? Because you just mentioned you do a broad number of things, but what seems to be the couple of main things that people come to you for help with?
The most common service requested, I would say, is assistance with food, whether it's referring to the meal site that we have at our center. Monday through Friday, people are able to come in and eat lunch, or us referring them to a food pantry where they can get free groceries, or home delivered meals for homebound people who are not able to get out and get groceries or even prepare meals for themselves.
And you have an on-site, this is at Plummer Park, where people can come for meals?
Yes, it's Monday through Friday at 11:30.
And do you have to be registered for that, or can you just walk in and say, hey, I'm a West Hollywood resident and I'm hungry?
You would just come in, and they would probably first refer you to me.
Right.
And then once I would interview the client, then I would be able to refer them to the center and make sure that they get the appropriate help that they need.
All right, Ina, let's talk about a couple of scenarios, kind of services that you can provide. Let's say somebody is sick, they need to have surgery, they're alone, they're going to get out of the hospital, they have nobody to go to, nobody to take care of them, and yet they need help. You guys can jump in, you guys can sort of fill that void?
Yes. First, the resident has to consent to a home visit to make an assessment of their needs. Once we make that comprehensive assessment, we're able to come up with a care plan together with the client to see how we best can assist them.
And you do this before the surgery, obviously, before they go into the hospital.
If the client's in the hospital, we can visit them after the surgery in the hospital.
Okay.
If the client is, if the client anticipates surgery and knows that when they will have it, we can meet with them before.
Perfect, because you can't always know. It might be an emergency situation. So what kind of services then would you would you provide for these folks that are now in the hospital? They can't go back to work. They can't maybe even get up to go get themselves a meal.
We will talk to them about what they might need when they come back home, and we can provide personal care, house cleaning, homemaking assistance. We can set up home delivered meals. We're able to make appropriate referrals for transportation, even provide some escorts if needed to their doctors, things like that, depending on the need.
So they're not alone, is basically the bottom line here.
Right, they're not alone. They can contact us, like I said, before or after the surgery or emergency.
And so what's the best way for someone to contact you? I know you're in Plummer Park, you can walk in the door, but what if you can't get out of the house and they need to contact you?
They can call us at 323-851-8202, and they will need to speak to an intake social worker. If they don't have the number, they can call the City Hall, and the City Hall will direct them to us.
I can imagine it can be a bit intimidating asking for help. Maybe some people just don't think they need it or don't feel that they might deserve it. Or how can people access your services, and what do you do to help them overcome whatever fears they might have?
Well, we do initial screening over the phone, and then depending on their issue or on the situation, we can schedule for them an appointment to come in and meet with them, or like I said, if they're homebound, we're able to come out and meet them, make a home visit, and or assist them, continue to assisting them by phone if that's what's needed.
So it's really as simple as someone just picking up the phone and calling you,
Yes.
saying, I'm in need.
Yes.
And when they come in or you go to them, you let them know what you can do to help them, to provide for them.
Yes, then we're able to inform them about all the services available, not only from us, but through the city. Or
Do you act as a liaison for all of the services? And if they come to your community service center in Plummer Park, you're able to put them in touch with all of the different services available?
yes, exactly. We're able to connect them to everything
Wow.
that they need, and follow up and follow through with everything.
That's fantastic. One-stop shopping, kind of.
Yes.
Wow. So when you people call in, you actually will help them, take them through the process. You can help them if it's an elderly person or if someone's sick. You can actually help them, assist them with filling out the paperwork, that kind of thing.
Yes, we do the whole process. We help them with filling out the application, contact their doctor's office for
Right.
information if needed. We can even mail the applications for them. We advocate for the clients until they get the benefits, and actually even continue monitoring after if it's needed.
Let me ask you this. You probably get involved with some of these people at a personal level because you're working with them. How amazing is it for you to know that you're helping people? Maybe you're providing them with meals that they wouldn't otherwise get, or you're helping them arrange to get to a doctor that they might not get to see. It's got to actually feel amazing knowing that you're helping people in this way.
It feels amazing actually to work in this city knowing that I'm able to help, because not all of the cities have the resources available, and not all of the cities have the city being so involved and continue to monitor the clients. So it's actually a great privilege working here.
Well, let's say someone all of a sudden can't pay their rent. Can you can maybe find a grant to help fill that short-term problem?
Yes, depending on the situation,
Right,
on the eligibility.
Right.
We would first probably help the client to apply for the benefits that they're entitled to through
Right.
the government, if that's possible.
Sure.
And then we would refer to appropriate agencies with available funds for rent. We would also look for alternative solutions. We would talk to the family if needed, see if there's some help available through the family, or apply for grants.
For a lot of people, this help is critical, maybe even a part of surviving. How important are these services for the folks, and what kind of reactions do you get from them when you're able to help them? What kind of feedback do you get when you're able to provide these life-altering, life-saving services?
Usually clients are very grateful for the help, and they say that if they didn't live in the city of West Hollywood, they don't know if they would be able to get the same help.
Right. And West Hollywood is definitely unique in that. We've talked about that.
It is.
You don't see this, and your agency provides services all over the country?
Yes, well, this is Jewish Family Service of Los Angeles,
Right.
but there are Jewish Family
Right.
Service all over the country. And definitely, usually people with disabilities fall through the cracks. A lot of the times cities have senior centers, but they don't provide the services for people with disabilities. So like I said, again, the city's amazing.
It is. It really is. It's fantastic. All right. Well, Ina Keratin with the Jewish Family Service, I want to thank you very much for all the work that
Thank
you're
you so
doing.
much.
Good job. Wonderful. And thanks for joining me here on Trending today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And that is trending for today. If you have a comment or you would like more information, or if you have a topic idea for trending, just leave a message at WehoTV on Facebook or Twitter, or you can email us here. Just remember, put #trending in the subject line, and we'll get right back to you. I'm Tracy Savage. Thanks for watching.